All right, JP, 730 Sports. Look, man, sometimes when you lose, you win. And sometimes when you win, you lose. And it's not always immediate, it's not always the next day. It doesn't mean because you lost on Tuesday, that loss will eventually lead to a win on Wednesday. Sometimes it's further down the line. What the fuck am I talking about, right? Where am I going with this? Here's where I'm going. Houston beat Oakland, which is a win, but technically it's a loss. Because what you've won is the right to go to New England in the freezing cold and get your ass kicked. And that's what's going to happen here. Now, you could say, well, everybody's a competitor. They want to compete. They're saying, basically everything all the Houston players have been saying since they realized they had to go to New England. We're going to compete and we got to play our best. And, last game doesn't matter. And, blah, 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 blah. All that bullshit, right? The last game does matter. When these teams met earlier in the season, um, New England beat them 27-0 in New England. And you might be saying, okay, well, 27-0, they can score some points maybe during the game. Yeah, they have a shot this time, right? Well, they lost that game to Jacoby Brissett, third string rookie quarterback. Garoppolo was hurt. Brady was on suspension. You still lost the game 27-0. Osweiler was horrible. Hopkins couldn't get open. Outside of Hopkins, they have nothing else. Really didn't run the ball well. And Jacoby Brissett put 27 points on your defense. Now, it's earlier in the season, and Houston's defense is better. Clowney has been fantastic, and Merciless has been great, and they don't have J.J. Watt, and they got Jonathan Joseph at corner. It's a very good defense. The problem is when your offense can't hold the ball and you're constantly giving it over to the other team, and you have a Tom Brady and a James White and a Martellus Bennett, and you got Julian Edelman, and you got LeGarrette Blount, and you got Michael Floyd, and you got Chris Hogan. You got all of these players, and you're handing the ball over to, arguably the greatest quarterback ever, with the greatest coach ever, arguably. This is not going to end well for Houston. There's just no way this ends well. We can get into the football nerd stuff and we can talk about how New England is going to um, basically just zone him to death, make him throw the ball underneath because they know he won't throw it deep. And when he starts to throw the ball underneath, he being Osweiler, then they're going to come up and press him, and they're going to force him to throw the ball deep, and they're going to do that because they know DeAndre Hopkins can't get separation. All his catches are contested. He makes great catches, but they're always contested. And he's not accurate down the field. They know this already. So that's going to be his downfall. It's going to be the same thing that happened earlier in the year. They're probably going to put up somewhere between 0 and 10 points. On the other side, as good as Houston's defense is, Tom Brady gets rid of the ball too fast for the pass rush to be a factor. All right. Who is going to cover James White when he splits out wide, and who's going to cover Martellus Bennett when he splits out wide? Are you going to run corners out there? You're going to bring out linebackers, and then you got. I mean, how do you cover it? I don't. They're not going to be able to cover the receivers. They're not going to be able to handle all the formations, all the sets that New England throws out. It's just not going to work. In order for you to handle New England, you have to be able to cover man to man. Your four corners, you have to have good cover linebackers, and you got to have a hell of a pass rush. Well, Houston has a pass rush, but they're not going to be able to cover all these people. And then when all is said and done, and they wear you out, running, chasing them around the field, and trying to figure out how you're going to cover these guys, they're going to hand the ball to LeGarrette Blount, and he's just going to run it down your throat, and that's going to be the end of the game. They go home, you go back to Houston, vacation starts. But it started a week late. It could have been a week earlier. but you beat Oakland, which was a win, but now here comes the loss. So have fun, Houston. You don't have a shot here. I said last time everybody has a shot, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to face reality. These guys don't have a shot, and it's not because of the team, the total team. It's because of the quarterback. The quarterback is no good. They overpaid for this guy. They gave him a shit ton of money, and he's not worth it. And he's going to be the downfall. He's going to look bad in this game. He really is. He looked bad in the last game. The guy had, I believe, 24 completions in the first meeting. And 24 completions sounds great, right? Problem is, it was only for 196 yards. Those are 3-yard completions, 4-yard completions, an occasional 10-yard completion, 4-yard completion, 6-yard completion. He's nickel and diming down the field. You're not going to beat New England doing that bullshit. That elementary football. That's high school shit. You're not going to be able to beat him doing that. So this game will not be pretty. I'm going to enjoy watching it because I enjoy watching a professional football team, and that's what New England is. They're always ahead of the curve, always on point, always doing the right thing. And, with so much bad football out there, whenever you get an opportunity to watch quality football teams, you should do that. So, with that being said, my prediction is 35-10 New England. Could be 42-7. Could be 41-3. It could get really ugly. So, with that being said, I'm out.